Hi guys, Allison here. Happy Fused Glass Friday. As you can see, this week's project will be focused on using some of my scraps. I have these two bins here that I keep typically off screen. I try to make one of these smaller scraps and one sort of larger scrap. There is some cross-contamination, but this is just getting a little bit out of hand for me. So I figured I would make maybe a sort of abstract landscape. I'm going to bring out some samples that I've made in the past. So I made a series of these. Let me get some white paper to show you. It'll show up better. There we go. So I made a series of these, like I said, like sort of abstract landscapes a while back in this arch shape. I really enjoy that shape for some reason. I keep using it in my work. So there was an example. I think this one might be one of my favorites. I have sold a couple of these, so some of the ones that I sold were also my favorite. But I do quite like this one, sort of beachy. Then we have this one. I think this may have been the first one I made in the series. It's hard to remember. And then this is the last one I still have. I also really like this one as well. This one also gives me sort of ocean vibes. The little like seaweed down here. I don't know if you can tell, but there are also, I used some copper mesh in these by encasing that between two layers of glass. I'll probably also be doing that today, and I can talk about that more later on. I've used a variety of different types of glass. There's some frit, there's some confetti, there's some, I don't think I used stringers actually. Nope, no stringers. There is one dot here. So I also, I don't know if it's picking up, but some of these pieces I had cut up already fused pieces. So sort of making a design first, firing it, cutting it up, and then firing it again. I'll see what I have laying around of pre-fired pieces that are sort of waiting to have a purpose, and maybe I'll incorporate some of those as well. So these are all built on a clear base piece, but I think today what I'm going to be doing instead of building it on glass is I'm going to try to make more of a rectangle landscape shape, and I'm going to do it freeform on this kiln paper. So I'm not going to be using any clear glass as a base. So let's go ahead and get started. Trying to figure out how I should position this so you can see what I'm working on and also see the finished product. Okay, so first I'm going to start with some of the larger pieces and just kind of lay them out as sort of like, you know, sort of building a base instead of starting on that clear base like I did on the other ones. I'm just going to sort of build my base out of multicolored scraps here. And then we can see what we'll do for the second layer. I really don't have a plan. There's no rhyme or reason. We're just going to kind of go in and see what we have. See, these are like little fired samples. I was just testing colors, and you know, I found the information that I needed. I don't really need to keep these for reference and have them take up room, so maybe I'll use those in this project. This is a really cool piece. We're just gonna play today. That's a cool shape. Like I wasn't intending to cut that shape, but that's what happened. So happy accident. So then, and also keeping in mind that my second layer of glass is going to have to cover all, or not, I guess not all of the seams, but I'm going to have to be cognizant of the fact that I need to cover where the bottom layer meets, so all that glass fuses together. So I may start working on my second layer before I'm quite done with the first layer. Again, that's just going to kind of be as I'm working. So these were some things that I found that I had previously made for, I don't know, maybe an intended project, didn't quite work out. So these are sort of like, I've seen them called blobs, I've seen them called nuggets. Basically just pre-fired, smooth shapes. And you can actually cut these. I do enjoy doing this. So now instead of a blob, I have sort of like a mountain shape. Not mountain, hill. So maybe I can use some of these here in my design. I think these are going to be pretty cool. They're going to have to be on the second layer, I think. Okay, so we're going to leave those off to the side. And I also have some pre-made sort of like ambers. Those might be cool. Yeah, got lots of goodies over here. So I basically like don't throw anything out. So this is what I'm reaching over to on the side. I have some cut nuggets. I have some still fired nuggets. I have some more test fires that I can cut up. Like, this is super ugly on its own, but if I cut it up and put it in a landscape, it looks, you know, more intentional. I'm going to start using in some confetti. This is 96 COE Reactive Aventurine Gold by Color. It says best capped with clear. I like it both ways, capped and uncapped. It's sort of, let's see if we can find a sample. So this is it capped, where it does sort of look gold, but then if you leave it uncapped, I know I've used it. Here we go. The uncapped bits sort of turn like a green color, which I think is also nice. So I'll probably do a combination of capped with clear and also uncapped. I'm just going to fill in this sort of blank area down here. I'm also going to start incorporating some of this copper mesh that I talked about a little bit earlier. Hopefully that's focusing. So this comes in like a roll. I can't remember where I bought it, probably like on Amazon, but I've had it for years. And I just cut it with, these are not just regular scissors, these are like metal snips. And I find that this cuts it really easily. I bet, you know, it's so thin, I bet regular scissors would work too, but I have these, so I use them. And I'm just gonna cut maybe like some wave shapes out of this. See if I like that. So this, ow, ooh, don't do that. So this you do have to cap with another piece of glass, whether it's clear or another color. Oh, I got myself good. Band-aid time. Leave it to me to cut myself on something other than glass in one of these videos. So be careful when you're working with any sharp material. I'm just gonna kind of use this sporadically. These I made using the silk screen and ceramic underglaze. So these were some samples of that. I made some earrings out of these, but I also had leftovers. I thought, I mean, that could be kind of a cool like moon or two moons in my little fantasy world here. Yeah, we'll think about that. Let's have another cool flower fail. don't like the colors, but yeah, keep all of your experiments because you can always use them in something else. That looks pretty cool too. I feel like I want the sky to be like a pale color. I think there's a color called Pink Champagne Translucent that I think would be nice. I don't know that I have any of it though. So I don't have any of the Pink Champagne in sheet glass, but I do have some powdered frit in the Pink Champagne. So I think that would be a nice color. It's like a really, really, really pale pink. That'll just be sort of like a wash. So I think I'm going to continue with sort of my clear and my clear iridescent sky here, and then fill in around that with that powdered frit to get some of that color. So let me just finish up this first layer of sky here. Now that I'm getting pretty close to the top here, I'm going to just quickly make some hooks out of nichrome wire so that I can hang this masterpiece when I'm done. Okay, so I think I have pretty good coverage there. I'm just gonna let this glue dry just so those pieces aren't moving around while I'm using the frit. So I'm gonna be back in a couple minutes. Okay, welcome back. I think I'm gonna zoom in a little bit maybe. So let that glue dry. I'm feeling pretty good about this so far. I am gonna add a couple more pieces here and there. Like I think I need to maybe do something in this area. But I think first I'm gonna go ahead and add some of that powdered frit. So I'm intending for that to be pretty subtle. Like I said, this is a really pale pink color, so that's not going to be too like in your face pink. I think I might add some more of apologize for the lighting. The sun seems to be coming in and out. I think I should really get some lights in my studio. I just, I'm not really sure which ones I could get that won't cause a glare while I'm working with glass. If anyone has any ideas for what types of lights I could use to film, even if the natural light is coming in and out, I am all ears. So I'm gonna add some larger frit sizes now too, just sort of as accents. I'm gonna start with some light purple. This is translucent. It's called light purple. It's actually a pretty dark color in my opinion, but that's the name of the color. Then I'm going to go ahead in with some olive green. This is actually coarse, so it's the next size up. There's some really big chunks in here, but I'm probably not going to use that big of a piece. Then the other ones I pulled are Deep Aqua, which is a blue. What is this? So I'm gonna go ahead and hairspray that down now because I think that looks pretty good. I may continue to add more. I think you could add more forever. Maybe I need some more larger frit up here. I don't think this is gonna, well, it's not gonna work. Let me use it anyways. This is bronze. This is a really pretty color too. I don't think I'm gonna put it in the sky area, but I do think I'm gonna put a little bit sort of on these mountain guys. Put over here. It's a pretty pale color. It's not gonna add too much. Just a little bit. So that is looking quite nice to me. Let me move these. I think that's blocking some of the light. I think I might be done. I think I might be done with that. Like I was saying, you can definitely just keep going forever and add more and more and more, but I think I'm at a point where I like it. I'm going to call it, and I will fire this tonight, like I said, on a tack fuse, and then I will show you the finished fired project tomorrow. Let me zoom in a little bit here. Oh, don't know a little bit. Zoom in so we can get some of those details. My work surface is a little bit more crowded than usual because I have these big bins here, so forgive me for that. But yeah, pretty happy with how that turned out. I will be back tomorrow and show you the finished project. See you then. Bye. Hi guys, welcome back. It's the next day. I have my fired abstract landscape piece here. Let me lift it up a little bit so you can see with the light shining through. I am overall very pleased with how this project turned out. I like that I got to use up some of these pieces that I just sort of had sitting around my studio that I wasn't really going to use for anything else in particular. I'm happy that I made the decision to make this a wavy edge on the top instead of a straight line. I think that adds something to it. I love the copper embedded elements. One note is that the confetti that I used that was supposed to be gold, even on the capped ones, it doesn't really look gold to me. Oh, well, now that I put my hand behind it, it does look gold under the capped ones. It sort of turned like a gunmetal on the uncapped ones, which is still cool, just not quite what I was expecting. I enjoy my color choices. Overall, I like the composition. That pink champagne color in the sky I think is nice. I think I could have added a little bit more just because it is so subtle, but really pretty overall. So I would call this project a win. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I do put out a new video every Friday, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye!